What's going on, you Bolt? How y'all doing? Y'all look beautiful, man. Y'all look beautiful. I am so blown away, and I tell you, the only thing I regret is whoever asked me to go after Mr. Anderson. We need to have a talk. I tell you, your words are so inspiring, man. And it's not just your words that are so inspiring, it's your example that is so inspiring. We are grateful. I first had a chance to meet this brother at the LL Cool J concert. I was cheering louder now than I was during the LL Cool J concert. It's a real honor. It's a joy to be up here with you. And it's a joy to be with each and every one of you. And to this class of 2023, y'all did it, man. Y'all did it. And you made it look so easy. But you know what I tell you, though? There's a beauty to it. Because we know it wasn't. We know what you did is hard. We know what you did is complicated. We know that for many of you, you defied odds that, frankly, a lot of your peers did not. We know that for many of you, you have beaten expectations that other people might not have had for you. But you did it. Still, you rise. And there's a beautiful power in that, in coming from U-Bolt, because this institution that has a long legacy of creating pathways and opportunities for many people who have gone on to do remarkable things. And I want to be very clear, I am the 63rd governor of this state, but I also know I'm just keeping the seat warm for some of y'all. Because I know exactly this path of not just accomplishment, but this path of service is something that is born in you. You are not receiving this degree as simply a form of accomplishment. You're receiving this degree because you went out and earned it. And the same way you earn this is the same way you will continue to earn everything else that you continue to do. To be up here with the staff and faculty and Ralph Muller and Regent Wood, it's great to see you. This is a joy and it's a privilege for me, and I'm humbled to be up here. But also I have to take a personal moment of privilege to give a special shout out to your president, President Kurt Schmoke. And I got to tell you, the guidance that he was giving y'all about how you think about your life, I want to tell you it's true guidance. I want to tell you it's meaningful, and I want to tell you he means it because it's the same guidance that he gave me years ago. I would not be here if it weren't for Kurt Schmoke. And I don't say that like figuratively. I say that literally. And I would not be the 63rd governor of this state had it not been for Kurt Schmoke. Because Kurt Schmoke was able to give me an opportunity that others did not. Kurt Schmoke was able to see me in ways that other people did not. Kurt Schmoke gave me an opportunity. Well, I had a chance to intern in Kurt Schmoke's office twice when I was a teenager. True story. And in fact, the last day of my internship, I went to his office and he was saying goodbye to me, because, an intern deserves a formal goodbye from a mayor. And he's telling me he's like, listen, have you ever heard of the Rhodes Scholarship? And I was like, I'd heard of the Rhodes Scholarship because he was a Rhodes Scholar. And he says, let me show you something. And he walks me over to his wall. And on his wall, there's a picture that he starts telling me about and pointing towards. The irony is that I actually have a picture in my office of the last day of my internship with Mayor Schmoke. And he is there, he's pointing towards the wall, and I'm looking up at what he's pointing towards, and he's pointing towards a picture on his wall. He's there, he got a full head of hair, I got a full head of hair. But the picture that he's pointing to on his wall is a picture of his Rhodes Scholarship class. And that was the meeting, that was the moment when he was telling me, I want you to apply for the Rhodes Scholarship. And that was the moment that he had given me my assignment. And later on, I went back and I applied for the Rhodes Scholarship. I ended up receiving the Rhodes Scholarship. And now in my office right now in Annapolis is that picture of Mayor Schmoke pointing towards his Rhodes class, and right under it is another picture. It's a picture of my Rhodes class. And I always know this, had it not been for that picture on the top, there would be no picture on the bottom. President Schmoke is exactly right. I stand here because there were people who lifted me up so I could see higher. He's exactly right. I stand here because there were people who were willing to hold my dreams up long enough to wait for my shoulders to become broad enough that now I no longer need their help. I can hold those dreams up on my own, but without them, they would have fallen to the ground. That there are people who are willing to believe. There are people who are willing to have a vision. And today I want to spend a little bit of time to talk about just why that matters. Because that's exactly what we need from y'all. We don't just need your hands and your hearts. We need your vision. And frankly, this is a time and this is a moment when our society needs it as much as ever before. Because when you can see things that others can't, when you can push for a world that others refuse to, when you can inspire a set of confidence that, frankly, other people are too weak to inspire because they would much rather use their energy to burn than to build. When you can think about how you can be an important component about our larger societal build, that is when you have truly understood the assignment. And I know this because my journey was not preordained. My journey was not a simple one. I probably am the most improbable governor inside of the country right now for a whole bunch of different reasons. But I am standing here in front of you as the son of an immigrant single mother. Who? That's it. Who, despite everything, gave her all to raise 3 kids on her own, a woman who, as my little sister said, she wore sweaters so we could wear coats. But who was willing to sacrifice everything if it meant that her children had an opportunity to see something that she might not have an opportunity to see. That I'm a person who felt handcuffs on my wrists when I was 11 years old because we grew up in areas and communities that were over-policed and we knew it. And we knew that oftentimes that was the way that things were just dealt with. I grew up and skipped class and ran away from schools and was sent to the principal's office so many times, I think I had an assigned seat in there. So what happened was that I found myself surrounded by people. And starting with educators and ministers and coaches, mentors, people that taught me that the world was bigger than what was just directly in front of me. People who taught me and helped me to understand that there is never a room that I don't belong in. And every room that I am in, I am not there because of someone's benevolence. I am not there because of someone's kindness. I am not there because of some social experiment. I am not there because someone wanted to sprinkle diversity into the room. I am there because that room would be incomplete if I was not there. So I thank God for those teachers who taught me to think for myself. I thank God for those coaches who forced me to keep pushing even when I told them I wanted to stop. I thank God for the ministers who prayed for me and my family even when there was no clear way forward. I'm thankful for the school counselors who helped me to understand and helped me to see a horizon that it's not that I wasn't even willing to accept, that I didn't even know existed. People who helped me to understand that the world is bigger than what was just directly in front of me. People who taught me to understand my own future and to see it clearly. And people who helped me to remember that there will be naysayers. There will be people who will push against you. There will be people who will spend more time focusing on your life because they do not want to spend time focusing on their own. And people who helped me to understand that do not let people who do not matter too much matter too much. There are people who showed me that it's okay to have faith. It's okay to have faith in something more. It's okay to have faith in something bigger. But people who also reminded us of this, while faith might have fallen out of favor for some in our society, that we understand the power of faith, but we also understand this. As the good book says, faith without work is dead. I don't believe in blind faith. I believe in faith with work. And I believe if we can combine those two things as you all have done, this is what excellence looks like. Not just a faith, not just a, I have faith I can graduate. I have faith I can complete. I have faith I'm gonna pass this test. I have faith I'm gonna make it past this course. But faith with work. Because when you can combine faith with work, there is nothing that stands in your way. A faith that helps you to understand that there is a path even when one doesn't feel clear. Faith with work means having the courage to stretch boundaries of what others can imagine for you and for your world. Faith with work means rejecting the popular narratives that people will sell you about the place that you live, about the place that you call home, about the aspirations that you have or the person that you are. My mentors taught me to have faith with work and a partner in life. And that's why I can stand here today. For this to be Maryland's decade, this has got to be Baltimore's time. And for this to be Baltimore's time, we're going to need each and every one of you to move with faith and work. Because if you do that, there is nothing that stands in the way of this city and its destiny. We have got to see a future that is bigger than our present. We need to believe that the future that we seek is more than a passing daydream, and we have got to work together to make it real. We need the hopes of you all. And we need you all to win. And we need the faith and the work of this class. And we need all of you. I'm talking about the students who grew up hearing that they wouldn't amount to things, but the ones who still yet never wavered from their goals. I'm talking about the students who come from families where college degrees don't happen normally, but they still made the choice to apply and enroll. And for all of our first-generation students, shout out and big up to you for making this real for you and your families. Feels good, don't it? I'm talking about the students who held on to their dreams even when life got in the way, and it might not have been a smooth path. It might not have been the natural trajectory, but you're here because you kept pushing, and you make sure that your faith was aligned with your work. I'm talking about those students, even if you were judged, even if you were confined, even if you were maligned, or because of where you grew up, or because of the decisions that you have made, that despite all of those things, you are still here today celebrating with everybody else. I'm talking about students like Jamia Bell Sandy. Is she here? Come on Why don't you stand up so we can see you? This superstar right here, she was raised by a single mom who never finished high school. Society told her the path that she was going to take was a path that she had seen, that she was destined to be stuck with a generational curse. But Jamia saw another path. She spent 6 years studying for her degree, balancing multiple jobs, and raising a beautiful young son. Today, she graduates from the University of Baltimore with a Bachelor in Science in Health Management. Thank you for believing in your path. Thank you for your faith, but thank you for your faith with work. I'm thinking about folks like Thomas Anderson, who we just heard from earlier. Brother, you are an inspiration to every single person in this room. Society told you that your path would be incarceration. Society told you that your path would be bondage. That even if you got out, it wouldn't matter. They didn't know you. They do now. Because society always tells, for many of our returning citizens, to keep their heads down and keep their dreams small. Society oftentimes tells us that every sentence should be a life sentence. But Thomas saw another path. He recognized at this place, at this school, at U-Bolt, that there could be another path. And you with faith, not blind faith, faith with work. And that's why it is an absolute joy for me to know I can go back and tell my kids that today I watched you graduate with a bachelor's in arts in business. This path is yours, y'all. It won't just jump out and find you. It won't just jump out and greet you. You got to search for it. You got to work for it. The path won't be simple and it won't be easy. There will be tough days. But if there's one thing that I've learned in life, the only things that have ever been worth it are the things that I earned. Anything that I've ever gotten in life that I did not work for, it has never been worth it. It's been fleeting. It didn't matter. But those days when you have a chance to celebrate not just the conclusion, but the path that made you better, the path that made you stronger, the path that reminds you every single day that you earned it. Those are the days that matter the most. The days when you remember that you have an ability to see things that others can't. That you have an ability to be able to see things that others won't. And that's okay. It's your faith. And it's your faith with work that is going to be your guiding light. There are going to be days that are going to be challenging. But the thing I ask you is this, even when there are, do not let anyone define you or limit you, especially when they have not earned the right to even have a conversation with you. You're the survivors. You're the scholars. You're the winners. You're the conquerors. Today is core evidence that you deserve to be any room that you are in. And I know sometimes in graduations, people who give graduation speeches, they give like quotes from Aristotle. And all these big thinkers. I'm going to leave y'all with a quote from a big thinker. His name was Christopher Wallace. Or Biggie, for those who might not. People looking back and they're like Latin, they're like, I don't remember a Christopher Wallace. Stay far from timid. Only make moves if your heart's in it. And live the phrase, sky's the limit. Congratulations, you ball. Keep building.